Tiger Woods on Tuesday said that players deserve to be paid, and they deserve to be paid essentially in charity dollars. Give us $1 million. Give us $5 million so we can help out our communities, help out our charities. What do you make of that? And do you even think that's like a viable solution or sort of a pathway that the PGA of America can go with this?
Well, Tiger Woods went with historical context, and I did appreciate that because this whole episode has made me go back to 1999 when this idea was first broached by the players on the U.S. team. And it just wasn't Tiger. It was Marco Mira was involved in this. David Duval was involved with this. And they were pushing for payment in the form of charity dollars, as you just pointed out. They ended up on the wrong side of that from a public relations standpoint. Yeah, Marco Mira, he and I were trading texts a few weeks ago just about how it didn't play out at all the way they thought it was going to play out. So what Tiger was talking about yesterday, I think in the current climate fits really, really well. The only problem is the way he said it is I'm not quite sure he understood what the Telegraph was reporting. The Telegraph was reporting that the players would get cash themselves. If they choose to donate it, that's fine. I could give you $5. If you choose to donate it, that's great. It goes to charity. If you choose to spend it on a latte, that's not considered charity. So I think there was a bit of a disconnect between what Tiger Woods was asked and what he answered. But I'll go back to, and we had this conversation, and I feel like I'm kind of on the wrong side of history on this one. I'm not against them getting paid, whether if it's for charity or otherwise, simply because there is so much money to be had at the Ryder Cup, both here and abroad. $750 for a general admission ticket next year at Bethpage, one day per person. So you get an idea of how much money we're talking about here. The PGA Tour makes millions in rights fees off that event that the PGA of America has to pay the PGA Tour to use essentially their players. The only ones who aren't getting paid are the players, the entertainment, the labor, the product. They're the only ones that aren't benefiting from this, and they're the reason why you're there. They're the reason why this event matters. I get it. It's going to be awkward next year when Luke Donald puts the big posters up in the team room. We play for pride. They play for pay. Like, I get it. Good for him. He's going to be brilliant about it like he always does. But I am not against this notion that they should be paid. We're in an age now where athlete empowerment is very, very real. And I may not like NIL, what it's done to my beloved college game, but it's here to stay. There's nothing we can do about it.
I think Tiger is conflating two different things. Whereas players, some of the players, and this came to sort of a head last year in Rome, want to be paid because they're the participants and they're part of this juggernaut and this enormous cash cow that is the Ryder Cup, right? Arguably the biggest event in all of golf. And the participants are essentially being shut out, and they're being told to just play for pride, play for your country, suck it up. You can get paid 51 other weeks a year. Like that is one side of the argument. And Tiger's saying, we want to get paid, but we want to give more money to our communities. We want to give money to charity. Those are two different things. I don't think anyone would argue. They already get a stipend that they can give to a charity of their choice. Like, there's two different issues that are going on here. I don't think Tiger did a good job of outlining exactly his position, where if there's any sort of revenue sharing agreement, that's what we're really talking about is the PGA of America is making money hand over fist, and the players are essentially getting shut out, or potentially, according to the Telegraph, would receive $400,000, which, if we outline on this podcast, is a laughable sum for their participation. It's the equivalent of a 13th place finish in the Players' Championship. In the grand scheme, like that's absolutely nothing. And so I don't think Tiger did a good job of outlining that. What I would love to see, since it's gotten to this point, is that the Team USA and Team Europe needs to get together and have some sort of joint agreement where each player is going to receive X, and that's going to be their payment. There should be no questions. There shouldn't be any sort of squabbles. There shouldn't be any sort of narratives of the greedy Americans versus the prideful Europeans. Like, it's just so unnecessary. And the fact that you have 9.5 months to figure this out, like, the two sides just have to come together, because it's poor optically. It's a PR nightmare for what is an otherwise amazing week.
No, and I agree. And I don't want to dismiss what the PGA of America does with those funds. You're right. They make an enormous amount of money, and that money goes to all of the programs that they have over the course of not 2 years, 4 years. Just keep in mind, this is only a once in 4 year option for the PGA of America. Every 2 years, it goes back to Europe. So that money is used for a lot of really, really good things. Grow the game initiatives. The PGA of America professionals are they front line when it comes to the game of golf. So I don't want to dismiss that or steal anything from them on that front. However, again, they're the product. They're the reason we're there. You and I get paid when we're at the Ryder Cup. There's no reason that the players should.